Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Welcome back to Let's Talk Wednesday. For those of you that have never seen our live, my name is Melshani Collins, and I am the CEO and family advocate of the Grace Agency, where we advocate for families that have child welfare cases. We also help fathers to gain paternal rights to their children through legitimation, and we also to connect families, help families to connect to local community resources. And so the reason why we do our Let's Talk Wednesdays, and I say this every Wednesday because I believe that it's so important. I believe that if you don't have the knowledge or the education on the resources and the services that you and your family may need, there is no way that you can progress in the way that you see your family going. It is vitally important for these resources that are in the community. You need to take a hold of them, right? There's so many different service providers that are looking to service you, but if you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the location, you don't know the phone number, you don't even know that these services exist, how can you and your family utilize them, right? And so every single Wednesday, we feature a different business, organization, or agency that I feel like is important for you to know. And so if you have never seen one of our lives, please join in every Wednesday. We do our lives typically between 12 and 3. And again, I always announce the different business that we're going to feature on Wednesday. I typically like to announce it towards the end of the week, so maybe between Friday and Monday, just so that if it's a resource that you need or it's a resource that someone else may need, you need to share this information. You need to share this live with them because we're having the people that are in charge, the people that are servicing, the people that are going to help you if you happen to call into their facility. We have those people that are on live, right? Not a customer service line, not just some random person speaking to you from a far place, but we have the people that are actually doing the work to be able to help you succeed. So that's why it is so important, you all, that you tune into our lives every single Wednesday. And also watch our previous lives, right? Because we've been doing this since January, the end of January. So every single week we feature somebody different, somebody new. And so if you need resources and you don't know where to go back and watch some of our lives and see if you find anything that may be of use to you or of someone else, okay? And also, if you are looking for help with your court petitions, right? So such as legitimation, modification of child support or custody, contempt, paternity, modification of visitation, or you are saying, hey, I have a defects case and I really need some help. I need some support, right? I need someone that can help to bridge the gap of communication between the agency and myself. Definitely give us a call, right? We do free consultations. Every single time we do free consultations where we're able to speak with you about what your issue is, and what you need assistance with. And if the Grace Agency cannot assist you, we do help you to find those resources, right? So give us a call at 678-729-7261. Or you can book a free consultation on our website, which is www.grace, that is GRACE ga.com. Okay, so definitely give us a call for your consultation and we will do our best to help you. Matter of fact, we hardly ever turn anyone away, right? Because we got the juice. So go ahead, give us a call. And without further ado, you all, we have a great service provider that we are going to talk with today, you all. This service provider, I met them at, again, another community event. That's why y'all got to be out. When y'all see these events, that I post, y'all got to come out to these events because there is resources out there for you, but you got to get up and get them, right? Nobody's going to bring them to your doorstep. I'm doing the best that I can to bring these resources to your doorstep, your social media, so that you don't have to get up from the comfortability of your home, but all you got to do is tune in every single Wednesday. But anyways, you all, I met this great resource at an event indicator, and I think that they are a great resource for parents, right? Or caregivers that have foster children within their home. So they have foster children within their home. This is a particular resource, or you're interested in fostering. This right here is a particular resource where you might be interested because they have programs and resources to show you that, hey, just because you have a child in your home that is in the system, right, it doesn't mean that they have to go without the resources that everybody else may receive. This is a particular program for them. So you all, I am going to bring on who we're going to be speaking with today. We're going to be speaking with Miss Erica Davis Woods and Mirandia Koger from the Multi Agency Alliance for Children, better known as MAAC. So give me 1 second and I will bring them on. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good afternoon. We're wonderful. How are you?
I am great. I am great. So I just gave a brief introduction about where you all are from, and I did tell them all your name, but I would like you all to introduce yourselves and give a little background information on what you do at the MAAC agency.
Sure. I'll get started. I am Erica Davis Woods. I am the Community Programs Director here at MAAC, the Multi Agency Alliance for Children. I have worked for MAAC for a little over 14 years.
Wow.
So, certainly a veteran of MAAC and a historian within the state of Georgia. Miranda?
My name is Mirandia, like she said, and like she introduced us. And I also work for here for MAC. I'll be here 2 years this year. I'm currently the development coordinator, so I handle our volunteers. Anybody who wants to volunteer, I also do our social media and our website. I'm just making sure that we're getting our name out in the community so that more people know about it. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just like I was telling everyone, I met a representative at the MAC agency that was some months ago, Indicator, and I thought that you all were a very special program because I saw that you all specialize with children that are in the welfare system, children that are in foster care. And I thought that that was very special because I feel like the children that are in the system, a lot of times they are always misplaced. They could have been abused, neglected. There's a reason why they have been taken out of their homes. And I think it's very special what you all do to focus on them, to help them to either transition out of the system well, or while they're in the system to help them with whatever they are in need of. So if you can, give me a little bit of background information about how MAC came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, MAC, our agency has been around since 1996. So, over 20 years working in the child serving, child welfare community within the entire state of Georgia. We actually are a collaborative, a network agency that is comprised of about 10 different agencies throughout the state of Georgia, placement agencies who provide placement support, room, board, and all watchful oversight to young people who are in Georgia's foster care system. The partners in which we collaborate with on a daily basis are from anywhere from foster care agencies, so the least level of restriction, to the highest level of restriction, also known as psychiatric residential treatment facilities or hospital like settings. And so our goal is to support you through coordinated efforts to the least restrictive setting as possible. We
Okay.
connect youth and families with community resources, with behavioral health providers, any extracurricular activities, because we strongly believe in normacy for our youth. We believe that people should be connected to people, right? We believe in the creation of village and fostering for young people to have a forever connection or a lifelong placement. And so through our advocacy work, we focus on being strength based planning, on certainly trauma recovery, and certainly being trauma aware. And individualized, unique supports and services to youth who are in our foster care system. And so our partners are not only therapeutic foster home placements, we also work with many group homes
Okay.
within the state of Georgia who support our youth. And we also work with the PRTFs, the psychiatric residential treatment facilities, to support those youth. Our goal is for youth to be out of hospital settings. Young people should not be raised in programs, right? But more so communities. And so our connection not only to child serving agencies, it's important for us to forge and leverage relationships within the community. So that includes schools, the school system, the Department of Children's Services, our DBHDD, so our behavioral health system here in Georgia. We partner with regularly to make sure our whole wellness is supported for youth. And so, really, we are the great connectors in doing those things and meeting quality providers and being intentional about the advocacy efforts that we have for our youth and doing that in a very unique, individualized planning process where we meet with multiple stakeholders and family members of our youth. We're intentional about reaching out to family, identification of family, forever family, reconnection with family. We're really big on permanency, right? So young people not only need people, young people need their people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that we are intentional about fostering greater connections. And so that is a very broad scope of the work that we do. And I know we will probably through the course of this live go into some more specific details. Miranda, did you want to add anything?
Our biggest thing I think I love here working at MAAC, so I don't work directly with the youth, but just hearing and kind of being among the greats, I would call them. But we love like having the youth at the table, right? Like their voice matters in what goes on and what happens. And of course, we always can't make it happen, right? But here at MAC, I can tell you, we're going to make it happen to the best of our ability. So I love that we bring the youth in on their plan and that we really want to hear like what they need and what's going to work best for them.
And you know what, Miranda, you said a key word that I feel like is so important is collaboration. I feel like when I worked for the Department of Family and Children's Services for over 7 years, and one of the things that I saw why a lot of families gave pushback, and as well as the children that we were helping, was they felt like the department or the service providers that were put in place would just tell them what they were going to do with their lives without asking them about their input and what they saw fit. And it caused a riffraff between the agency and the families, and also just them not wanting to participate in the services because they felt like I need to have a stake in what's going on with me. It's easy for you to put in services for me, but if I don't have a stake in what's going on with me, I don't have buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want to do what you're asking me to do. And so I'm so glad that Matt collaborates with those families and with the children, because I mean it gives you it gives them some stability to know that, hey, I have input on what's going to go on in my life. And so I'm so glad to hear that that's what you all do. Now, I heard that you all are in the state of Georgia, and I know that there's a lot of counties in Georgia. Are there specific counties that you all work within? Like, do you take foster children from every county in Georgia, or is it specific?
So we have about 10 different programs, and all of our programs are unique in their own way.
Okay.
But for the most part, we support youth throughout the entire state. There are some programs that are metro centered,
Okay.
there are some programs that are statewide. We do have staff who are statewide in a few of our programs. And so our reach truly is statewide, and there are some concentrated program pilot work that we're doing that are county specific. And so it really depends on the unique need. One thing that we love about MAC is we have a full continuum of not only providers in which we connect with and who support the work that we do, but also of resources for youth as young as age 3 to 26, because we do work also with emergent adults. It's important for us to work and prepare our youth for independent living. And so a part of our work and the continuum and variances of our program are to support youth, toddlers as young as around 3, and to support just the matriculation, if you will, to adulthood for many of our youth and young adults. And so we have our reach is broad, and we're excited about our unique ability to be able to meet individualized needs for the entire population of youth that we support. Mhm.
Awesome, awesome. And so, getting with programs, I did some research, and I do research on every agency that I'm going to feature. And I saw that you all have a lot of great programs. You have the Leads program, the MET program, you have the PAC program. You have a lot of the network collaborative. Y'all have a lot of different programs on how y'all utilize services for families. But there were two in particular that I was extremely interested in, and that was the program, but
Mhm.
also your transitions program. And I was very interested in those programs, especially the transitions program, because myself, I get a lot of families that grew up in the foster care system, and they end up repeating the cycle because once their case was closed, they never had those the aftercare services to know how to be a parent or how to maintain employment or how to deal with stress. And so, if you all can tell me a little bit more information about the PAC program and
Yeah.
how, if someone is interested in that program, how they could either, become eligible or what they need to do to see if they can be in that particular program.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly impressed, Mel, for the research.
Yeah.
Love that you
Yeah.
are able to name that thing, and certainly highlight some of our programs here. So, our PACT program is my baby. PACT is our high fidelity wraparound program. PACT stands for permanency focused, action oriented, collaborative, and team based. The goal of this particular program, which is statewide, is to support young people who are in care who really struggle with maintaining their placement. So, this group of young people are either unfortunately bouncing around from different placements to placements, or have struggled with maintaining, right, their placement, or are potentially at risk of being placed in a higher level setting, such as hospitalized setting, or
Mhm.
potentially transitioning out of a hospitalized setting. Most of these youth, unfortunately, cycle back and forth through a treatment cycle, which is normal, right? For
Mhm.
young people who have acute mental health complex needs to cycle back and forth to receive treatment, but to come back. That's our goal, to get youth back into the community. We don't believe, as I mentioned before, that young people should be raised in hospital-like settings or within programs. We believe that young people should experience a sense of normalcy and attend community schools and should be able to attend local recreations and centers and be connected to extracurricular activities and participate as freely, right, as all youth have the opportunity to do. And so we do that by a team planning process. We have monthly child and family team meetings where we support youth in a planning process that includes multiple perspectives. This is our wraparound process. This is where we essentially bring the village of individuals who are connected to the youth and family. This
Mhm.
not only includes providers, we want the family at the table. And we believe at MAC in all of our programs, nothing about us without us. And what that means is we don't have meetings without young people being at the table, youth or young people at the table. We're inclusive of their families. They are aware of all that we're doing. They're a part. It is a collaborative process. And so our coordinators lead team meetings utilizing the high fidelity wraparound process. And our goal is to meet young people's unique needs. Our goal is to prevent them from cycling back and forth from placement to placement. Our goal is to prevent them from cycling back and forth from higher level of care and keep them and sustain them at a community level of support and connect them so that they can be not only sustained in a community, but successful and thriving within the community. So within our PAC program, we work with youth. Our authorization is up to a year. AMER Group is the single source funder for physical, behavioral, and mental health services for youth in Georgia's foster care system. And
Okay.
so they are our partner and great partners, actually. They're a funder and great collaborative partners in this process. We meet with their complex coordinators regularly as a regular member of the team to provide resources and supports to those youth within their zip code. And so not only do they help to connect services and supports they help to just partner to make sure that we can stabilize from where they support by way of being that single source provider, and making sure the youth have their behavioral needs met, right? Their mental health needs met, any physical health needs are met. And so this is our hospitality wraparound process that is inclusive of many team members. And we are really excited about the progress, the great work that we're doing in sustaining young people and connecting them with their family. So remember, I said the P impact is from permanency focus. So one
Mhm.
of our first goals is for young people to either be connected to their biological family, fixed kin family, or kinship of some sort,
Okay.
or adoptive resources. We also work with adoptive families through this programming to sustain those adoptions that have occurred. We don't want young people to disrupt their placements. We want young people and families to feel that they have literally a team that is wrapped around them, that is supporting their whole needs. That means when we support the whole youth, all youth from education, mental health, right? Community engagement, social supports and connections are very important.
Mhm.
And so that's the great work we do. We have about 20 teams throughout the state of Georgia, and we're working with up to 150 youth.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So one of the keywords that I heard you mention was cycling, right? You cycling in and out either mental health facilities or just cycling within the system. And we know that once children enter into the system, the likelihood of them re-entering back into foster care is extremely high because there's some concerns going on with either their caregiver or with them, right? Whatever they have experienced that caused any trauma. Can you tell me about a success story that really impacted you, that really stuck with you, with a youth that went through your program and made it out on the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have thousands that we can share. I will name a kind of a story of a young person who was disconnected, disconnected from family, disconnected from people, disconnected from resources, lost hope,
Mhm.
which unfortunately are many of our youth who are connected to the system. And so sometimes just having a person, right, really makes a big difference. Earlier I said people need people. And so for us in at MAC, we believe that connecting and providing continuity of care really
Mhm.
helps with the progress and the success rate of the work that we do because our coordinators literally walk alongside with young people and families. And so we had a coordinator who was very passionate about meeting the youth needs, driving to see the youth regularly, connecting this youth and creating them to a potential adoptive resource. And throughout this coordinator support, that young person not only created a constant communication stream with their bio family, which
Mhm.
is important, but also had the opportunity to enter into a pre-adoptive state with a resource. And so far, even today, is still very much sustained. Earlier, you mentioned aftercare. Well,
Mhm.
with the that we do and the connections that we've made, we have had opportunities to continue to be in touch with our young people and our families because oftentimes we just need young people need a reach back, a touch back, right? Someone
Mhm.
to come back and say, hey, I need a little bit more resources. And so for this family, not only that were they able, of course, bumps and bruises along the way, right? But what we're able to accomplish our program completed, they were and be identified a family resource that is a lifelong connection. We were able to reestablish communications with this youth biological family, even though termination, rights have been terminated, but phone calls, emails, visits every now and then are always very important when you have a young person who's disconnected from their bio family. So just someone to say, hey, you come from the same family that I do. And so here's a reestablished connection. That youth also is thriving in school. So we were able to match and coordinate the right supports in school so that they can matriculate and do well,
Mhm.
right? Not only just matriculate and be promoted to the next grade, but really begin to see some academic progress And so certainly excited about that. And then connection to the community. This youth, this young person is active within the community, has joined the local Y. And so when we talk about thriving, it's very different from just surviving, right?
Mhm.
Is the ability to connect with others, have a village around you, and be able to sustain because of the connection with the right supports around you. And so we're excited about not only this success story, but so many others that are similar. So many stories of young people who came to us broken, who we've done our best to move, right, and to hope, and then to healing, to restoration, to trauma recovery. And so excited about the work, certainly, that we're doing in our PAC program. Thank you for allowing us to share.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm really excited about the work that you all are doing, because I feel like it's different. And one of the things that you just mentioned was the reach back for people that may have aged out of care, or people that are now on their own and they're trying to find out who they are, right? They're trying to, maintain housing. They're trying to make sure if they have mental health issues that they're being treated, and they're trying to do this, as an adult. And so this kind of led me to the question, what challenges have you all faced? Because with children that have been in and out of the system, that have been mistreated, that have been, in several different placements, and then you all come in wanting to help them, wanting to collaborate with them, and they might not be the most trusting. They've been through a lot. So, what
Sure.
challenges has your agency faced with trying to help children and then build them into a place where they're able to go out on their own and be a productive citizen and take care of themselves?
Yeah, a great question. We're really intentional around relationships, engaging with community providers, leveraging those relationships, which really help us to connect youth. And so I will say in that a lot of challenges that we've had, and particularly with some of our youth who unfortunately are in crisis, constant crisis,
Mm-hmm.
crisis. Uh, for lots of different reasons. It could be a placement crisis. Sometimes it's a food insecurity crisis. Sometimes it's transportation
Mm-hmm.
crisis. Sometimes it's a utility bill, right? Or family, not only just youth, families as well. These are crises that we're presented and receive calls from daily, not just from youth in care, but youth who and families who are just crying out for support. And so I will say, one of our biggest challenges has been time.
Yeah.
Time. We run out of time. And when young people need what they need it then. They
Mm-hmm.
need it then and at that moment. And so we have worked really hard to be agile, to be accessible, to be able to foster relationships who have services and supports that are 24 hours, 7 days a week, who to build relationships with extended stay cares or hotels, motels, daycare right at the last minute. And so it's so very important when we think about family, youth, it is more than just a young person, right?
Mm-hmm.
We must continue to build supports that can accommodate whole families.
Yeah.
And so, some of the challenges that we see just throughout the state, housing has been one, emergency housing has been a huge concern for us in terms of our transition population, making sure, the work scene right now within our state and trying to navigate. Young people need money. They want money. They want to work, right? Well, maybe not all the time want to work, need to work. Um,
Mm-hmm.
money makes and helps the world go round. And so we've partnered and spent a lot of time with our transitions program on workforce development, the training of our youth, taking the time. One of the challenges has been just really that, right? Oftentimes, when our youth are in care, they miss some of the 100 things you need to know before exiting care. Well, our Georgia Empowerment Program provides that. We have an initiative that are supported by adults, but led by young people to really help us to keep a youth voice at the table, right? To always remind us what the needs are And we have these advocacy support groups within Georgia Empowerment to inform us, to help us better improve our work. And so when we're finding through the support of Georgia Empowerment, the deficiencies within our state around placement, around housing,
Mhm.
around workforce development, right? Supporting our youth as because they've been moving around so much. Some of the basic learnings of independent living, such as washing your clothes, right? A job interview, those types of preparations are missed. And
Yeah.
so those have been some barriers where we've had to walk it back a bit and start over with teaching and supporting and coaching our youth through some very basic yet important life skills that will sustain them for the remainder of their life. And so, some of the barriers that we find that I've named so far, the great part about MAC is we're barrier busters. This is what we do. And so we have teams that are intentionally positioned within the state to leverage relationships and partnerships to work to support to mitigate those barriers at all costs on a daily basis.
Awesome. Awesome. So if there was a person that has never heard of MAAC, and they had foster children within their home, or someone that was interested in fostering, and this seems like a good program that they might want to really, take a look in, what are some of the requirements that you all, or the referral process that you all require for youth to become, or family as well, to become a part of your program?
So, what I'll say is the best place to go certainly is our website. Our website is innovative and creative. It shares about all of our programs and it gives our main number, contact information. We have an admissions team that is phenomenal. Who, if you even just go to the website immediately, a chat box will pop up. May I help you? And in that chat box, we have someone that is positioned to answer live inquiries. So there is no question that will go unanswered. If someone who's watching come visit our website, you'll learn all about us. And not only will you only have the opportunity to read and review our website, you also have an opportunity to utilize our chat feature. And so for some of our programs, anyone can apply to, such as PAC. Anyone can apply to PAC, even a young person or family member. There are some programs that we have, such as our network collaborative, where those referrals come only from DFAC. And that is a good, we have many programs who the referral source is only by way of DFACs. But there are some that community providers, stakeholders, young people, families can provide, they can self refer to many of our programs. And so you can find those nuances certainly on our website because I mentioned earlier, every program is different. Our program criteria is very different. For the most part, though, our youth must be either currently in care, child welfare
Okay.
system, or previously. We support a lot of youth who were previous in care. And so when I mentioned the reach back and you talked about kind of aftercare support, if someone calls our office in need, if we can't support you at MAC, we are going to connect you at MAC. I mentioned earlier, we are the great connectors and we are intentional about if we can't meet the need, connecting and coordinating supports who can. And so I would encourage everyone to visit our website, check it out, go to and take full advantage of the chat feature when you find a specific program of interest, and we will answer all your questions certainly live and in the moment.
And
Oh,
to back off that one, our website is www.mac, which is MAAC, the number four, kids.org. And on there also, we do have a tab called Interesting in Fostering, where you can really look at the agencies that we've partnered with and that we trust who can take you through that process, if they want to foster. Um, Definitely looking for more fostering parents and people who want to foster. So definitely, look at that. And like you said, there is a live chat feature. You're literally getting someone in an admissions team who can really respond to you. And then there's emails, directors, emails, everything on there if they need to get in contact with someone. But the best way is to go through, like she said, through our website and really take advantage of what we have to offer.
that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Thank you for Mirandia, because I was just going to ask that about you all with the website. And also, okay, so what if someone comes across this live, right, and they like what you stand for and they like what Matt does? What are the volunteer opportunities that might be available to them if they wanted to partner with your agency?
That's me. So the best way is when there's a form on our website about interesting in volunteering. So you fill out that form. You just share simple your name, your phone number, and I ask like a few questions. And so what next steps is I'll reach out because again I want to get to know you and also give them more information of who we are at MAC and their commitment level because we want to, we're going to commit to something. We want to make sure that they have time and availability, and
Mm-hmm.
then everyone goes through a volunteer orientation. So it's like a 30 to 45-minute orientation. They get to kind of get some feedback of who we are as MAC, our history, and some of our policies and why we do what we do. And then they sign a form, and then they're able to sign up for a date and time that works best for them to come out. So some opportunities right now that we're really focusing on is celebrating our youth. A lot of our youth, as she says, are in different types of care, and we want them to be able to get a birthday card. And I know it might seem simple to us, but it's really important for them. And so you're able to come, you literally get a youth's name, their first name, and their birthday, and you literally get to come and decorate a birthday card, and we send them out. So again, it's something that's personalized for them, right? Something that they get to receive. And so we have that going on currently. We also recognize our youth throughout the year as well. So anything that's big happened in their life, and we want to recognize them because they get that from their coordinators and their team, but to get that from a volunteer, something additional is so helpful. So we have that. We do a really big holiday drive, huge. I think we service 115 youth this year. So you
Oh,
can imagine having to wrap like 4 to 5 gifts per youth, right? So we have a whole wrapping party, fun, a good time to really come. And so again, to get that gift, right, really it's off their list. Sponsored by somebody. We're also looking for sponsors, right? If you want to sponsor a youth or two, that will be coming out soon as well. So you can sponsor a youth. You get the youth name, personally want, right? And so again, to open a gift that they want, that they've been asking for, they might not necessarily have gotten. I think that's always a plus here at MAC. Again, like you said, we bring them to the table. We don't just want to hand them something that they're not going to use. We want to give them something that's really going to be meaningful to them. And so we have that opportunity as well. And we have different things throughout the year. We have our empowerment. They're doing a Marty Day. So it's very important. We want our youth to be able to know how to get around, right? Even if they don't have transportation, to be able to use
yep.
Marty. So we do a whole Marty Day and they make it fun. So we're looking for volunteers for that aspect. And I think we have a mommy and me camp where our moms and their kids are able to come and the moms are able to get catered to, but also their youth, their children as well. So we do that. We have that opportunity. So the best way is to go to our website again, fill out the volunteering form, and then it literally directly comes right to my email. I'll be the one calling you or somebody on our development team, and we'll get them connected to volunteering here at MAC.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, we're nearing the end of the interview. And so I always ask a personal question because I'm always curious as to why people choose to do the work that they do. So I want to know from you ladies, what is the inspiration and the passion behind the work that you do?
Mm.
Hmm.
I'll say for me, my inspiration is just really pouring into our future, you know, and not just a particular young person's future, all right, all youth. I believe in supporting our and not forgetting about our most vulnerable youth, right? And I think my passion point is just around um, supporting young people, making sure young people are connected, making
Mhm.
sure people have people, right? Making sure that we are instilling hope into youth. And so that's always been my passion point. I've always known that I wanted to work with children and particularly in youth, because it sounds really cliche, but one day, right, they will lead the way. And
Mhm.
so it is important for us to pour into them, to prepare them, to support them, to cheer them on, to have their back, to advocate for the voiceless, to prepare them to be able to articulate their voice themselves appropriately, right? So that others, adult supporters such as you and I, can hear them. And so that is the work that we do. And not only the work that we do, my passion point. And so I have been here, I mentioned earlier, almost 15 years because of the alignment of Mac's vision and mine. And so certainly excited to share about Mac, to take this time with you, Mel. Thank you again so much for featuring us.
Problem.
Me, I just came in. I was like, listen, I used to work in childcare for about 13 years, and then I transitioned here to Mac. One is a administrative assistant first, and I think for me, it's like even though I don't have I don't have my hands directly in their process, but to know that when I first answer the phone, right, I'm the first point of contact. So they're getting someone automatically who I'm listening, right? I'm hearing what they need, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that it got to the person, right? And so then when I transition to my current role, still being able to say, hey, like I need us as MAC as a whole to be in a room, right? In rooms that can really support that the work that we do, whether that's in financial donation or whether that's getting in-kind donations of what we need, or whether that's getting sponsors to make sure that every youth that comes into our holiday drive, right, is getting a gift that they want. And so I think being able to develop, right, and to develop those plans and to develop the things that we need so that MAC can continue the work that we're doing. And so even though I say all the time, even though I might not be hands on with them, I'm still hands on, right? And so I do my best, and our team is a development team, and everyone here at MAC, to make sure that we're continuing the work to move it forward.
Absolutely.
It
So
takes a village.
It takes
We can't do our work
Yeah.
without the Mirandias of MAC. And so we are excited even about our support team who support us when we're out in the field and in the community. And so we all work together to do this great work and answer this charge that I feel we're doing really well at.
and that's awesome because I feel like as a helping professional, it's very important for you to always remember your why, to always remember what inspired you to get into this line of work, because there are times when it can be tough, right? We're dealing with trauma, pain, childhood issues, right? And we're trying to heal those, and just like you said, Erica, in a specific time, right? Because we run out of time when we're trying to repair 15 years worth of issues, in a short period of time. And so I think that that is really important that you all remember that. And so I wanted to thank you, Erica, and thank you, Miranda, so much for taking out time from your busy days to really just give the community just more information about what you all do at MAC and why you're inspired. Because I think it's important for them not to just know about a facility that has these services, but for them to see the faces that are behind it. Right? They don't get to see you, Erica, or you, Miranda, just out in the open, right? But they know if they call, Miranda, you may have answered the phone, or Erica, you may have facilitated, getting them what they need. But it's important to see your face and attach it to what you are doing in the community that is life changing. So I wanted to thank you all today for just taking the time to speak with us. And I really appreciate the work that you do. And I just tell you to keep your heads up, keep doing what you do, and remember the why. But thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again for having us. It's been a pleasure.
No problem. And I look forward to, volunteering and helping with the holiday drive because that's something that I'm interested in. So I definitely will be getting in contact with you all. So thank you again for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
great one.
you too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.